What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? It's me, your big partner man, Cartoon One, the Village Storyteller. And it's storyteller time, man. You know what I'm saying? Over here, I know I've been gone for a minute, but now I'm back again. I'm back again, man. And since I've been missing, man, I got to hit y'all with a banger. And that's what I'm going to do. Y'all know the type of stories we tell over here on the Village Storyteller channel. You know what I'm saying? They're fiction stories. You know what I'm saying? Stories that are not true. They are made up. They are for entertainment purposes only. With no further ado, I'm gonna jump right into the story, man. We gonna set y'all down right here in the middle of a secret army base in the mountains, in the Colorado mountains. Not a lot of people know about this base, but it's there. We're in a room, man, with several individuals in this room, and they're talking. And the name of the individuals that are in this group is called Night Watch. Some people call them the Night Watchmen, but their true name are the Night Watch. It's a group of people that have been brought together, that have been together, that do what you call Operation Wet Mop. Operation Wet Mops are when you need something done around the world that you don't want the world to know that you're doing them. That's what it's called, wet mop, or in the CIA, some call it wet work. This is a group, the Night Watch is a group that have been brought together for many, many years of a lot of talented different individuals, and they have a 100% success rate. They've never failed. It don't make no difference where you at. It don't make no difference what you about. It don't make no difference what type of protection you have. It means no difference. When the Night Watch is put on your heels, partner, it's best to just go ahead and lay on down and give up the ghost, because it's just a matter of time before you sent to the upper room. And on this particular case right here, no one can handle this but the Night Watch. Fast forward to one of the conference rooms. You have General Kemp just walked in. General Kemp just walked in. So when General Kemp walked in, he looked over at Sarge and he told me, he said, "How you doing, Sarge?" Now, Sarge is the leader of the Night Watch. They go back. They've been knowing each other many, many years. So Sarge said, how you doing, General? You know, what you need of me and my men? He said, "Listen, this is a very delicate case. It's a very dangerous case." He said, I don't even know if this case here is going to mess up your success rate because it's bad. So Sarge tell him, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, General Kemp. You know, give me the rundown on what's going on. He say, so General Kemp tells him, first off, introduce me to your team. I've heard so much about them. I'm just intrigued. I'd like to know. So Sarge tells him, sure. You know what I'm saying? Let me introduce you to you. So Sarge walks over and he goes and he opens the door when him and the general go into the big conference room. He like, listen up, man, listen up, man, y'all gather around. So when the Night Watch gathered around, he started explaining to them. He said, listen, this is General Kemp. He's gonna be the one that's over our mission. He's the one that called us. He's the one that's paying for it. He just want to get to know you. So I'm here to introduce you. So they were like, okay. They are a rowdy ragtag bunch. They don't have a lot of formality because they all get along. They all got their special, you know, how they feel and what they do about certain things. So anyway, Sarge points over to one. He said, this is Hound Dog. He said he's the best tracker in the world. If Hound Dog's on you, he's going to find you. That's why we call him Hound Dog. He points over to another big black dude, about 6'6", swole up, muscles, bullet bandoliers all over him, bald-headed, with some grayish-like eyes. Don't do a whole lot of talking, has a long scar that comes down his face that goes all the way to his mouth. No one has the heart to ever ask that man, how did you get that scar? And the best thing for him to do is not ask. And so Sarge tells the general, he said, this is Brickhouse. He's our heavy weapons expert. If it can be shot and it's heavy, he can shoot it. So the general tells him, how you doing? How you doing, Brick House? Brick House looks at him and just grunts. He points to another guy. He said, this is Airwave. Best, he's our radio man. Best radio man in the world. If it can't be fixed and it can reach out, touch someone, I mean, it can reach out and get you on the phone or get you on the airways. That's why we call him Airwaves, because he got it down pat. He points to another guy. He said, this is Boom Boom. This our heavy explosive guy. A MacGyver. If it can be made into a bomb, Boom Boom can make it into a bomb. He points to another guy. This Lights Out. Dude waves his hand like this here. So the general asks him, Lights Out. Why do they call him Lights Out? Because of a genetic birth defect that he had at birth. He can see in the dark like a bat, like an animal. There's no such thing as too dark that he can't see. The darker it is, the better he can see. So the general kind of like, dang, okay. So he points to another guy. He said, this is Silent Night. General said, Silent Night. He said, yeah, Silent Night. He said, he's our sharp-edged weapons expert. Can't be defeated with anything, a knife, an axe, anything with a sharp edge to it. Throwing stars, one shot, one kill with it. He's bad. So boom, General shakes his head. Okay. He points to another guy. He said, this is Sound Check. Sound Check. He said, yeah, he can hear beyond any level of what a regular human can hear. So the general asked him, is he regular? He like, yeah, he's regular. He said, but something happened, and at one time he couldn't hear, and then all of a sudden one day popped up, he could hear. But now he can hear, literally, when they use the term a rat piss on cotton, general, he can literally hear a rat piss on cotton from a long distance away. If it's something that gonna make noise, he's gonna pick it up. That's Sound Check. He said, okay. He points to another guy. He said, that's Heavy Metal. Big fat dude with a big belly with some big rough arms, big old muscly arms though. He said, Heavy Metal. He said, yeah, he's our driver. If it got 4 wheels or more, or 2 or 3, he can drive it. We put full trust in him. That's Big Heavy Metal. I said, okay. He pointed to another little small, little thin guy. He said, that's AT&T. So the general like, AT&T. So Sarge tell him, yeah, that's AT&T. He's our resident sniper. Don't miss. Can hit you from whatever distance he needs to hit you from. He said, that's why we call him AT&T. Because he can reach out and touch you. General like, okay. Then he points to a pretty little Asian female sitting over in the corner with all her army fatigues on. He said, that's Soft Touch. General like, Soft Touch? Yeah. A hand-to-hand fighting expert. Don't let the name fool you, General. Unequal. Cannot be defeated in hand-to-hand combat. Very deadly. She has a soft touch. But that soft touch will leave you in a pool of blood. The general shakes his head. And so that's when Sarge looks at him. He said, that's my team. We are the Night Watch. Okay. So General says, okay. Very impressive. Very impressive. He said, but now what I have for y'all, you're going to need every skill that you just named and most likely more. What? They looking at each other. They laughing because they never ran across anything on the face of the planet that could stand in their way, that can stop them, that can defeat them, that can beat them. They were the Night Watch. So General said, listen up and listen up closely. He said, now, this information right here is not to be spoke on to anyone in your family, anyone everywhere, nowhere. This is to be kept amongst y'all. It's to be taken to your grave. So now all the members of the Night Watch get kind of like, okay. So the general goes on to explain to them, exactly 2 months ago, an unidentified object was noted coming into our atmosphere. Once it coming into our solar system, we tracked it through our solar system all the way into Earth's atmosphere. And we tracked it landing, whether it crashed or whether it just regularly landed in the jungles of Vietnam. We over the last 2 months we've sent several teams in there to ascertain what this is and what it was. No one has returned. No one has returned. No radio communication, no nothing. We at our wits' end. You our last hope. We sending y'all in because of the reputation that you have within the secret society community. The word is out that if Night Watch can't do it, it can't be done. So we leaning and we're hoping on you, gentlemen, to complete the task of finding out what landed and what it is. We have some data. We have a man on the ground in the village, and he's there. He's hurt, but now he's there waiting on y'all. He's gonna fill you in on everything that you need to know. So Sarge speaks up. He say, General, could you give us any more intel? Sarge, the general looks around, and he looks back at Sarge. He said, look, I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. I'm gonna be completely honest. Whatever this is that landed or crashed, it's of alien orientation. It's not from this planet. And it's been killing villagers. It's been killing livestock. It's been killing everything within this jungle. Tigers, snakes, everything. Villagers, humans, nothing. And we need it stopped. We need it gone. We need it eradicated, liquidated, eviscerated. We need it annihilated. We need you to bring its head back on a platter. We don't have a description of it because no one has lived long enough to make it back to tell us exactly what it looks like. But on the last team we sent in, everybody died. Everybody was killed except for one man. His name is Stinson. He's on the ground in the village and he's waiting on you. We don't know how much time he has left, but we know he's not going to live much longer, especially to make it back over here. Can't really be moved. We need for y'all to get there, get whatever intel he has, and destroy this thing. So the Sarge says, okay, we your men. We got it. We got it. So boom. That's when the general tells him, okay, your plane leaves in 1 hour. So boom, get your gear together. So when the general leaves, the Sarge spins around. He tells me like, look, I don't know what this is, but we in it. So Boom Boom tells him, come on, Sarge. Man, you done got us into some Space Invaders type stuff. So Sarge like, man, I don't know what this is, man. I'm just now being debriefed and finding out about it just like you. So boom. So Brickhouse, he had a real heavy voice. Man, this sounds like some real heavy stuff right here. Don't make no difference. If it can bleed, it can die. And if it can die, Brickhouse got just what it takes to kill it. And he reaches down, he pulls up a real big old gun. Shoot bullets about this long, he passes it. Me and my baby here ain't gonna play with it. So Sarge tells him, okay, y'all get y'all gear together. Let's go. Let's meet at the takeoff point. So they all meet at the plane. They hit the plane and they leave it. They got a long 20-some hour flight to make it from Colorado over to Vietnam. So when they finally land, boom, they land, they get drove to the village that they're going to. When they get to the village, Sarge looks for the wounded U.S. soldier that's still left alive but is dying, named Stinson. So when they go into the hut, Stinson looked bad. He looked bad. He on his last leg. And Sarge leans over and he tells him, he like, man, tell me what you know. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you got. So Stinson said, man, listen, I don't know what this is. He said, I don't know what it is. I ain't seen nothing move this fast. I've never seen nothing this strong. It hit us from out of nowhere. And all I know, only thing I can remember is a lot of screams and, you know what I'm saying? And it put us on a run. It put us on the run. He said, okay. He said, but we was here for a while before we ever made contact with it. From the information from the old elder of the village, and the old elder's name was Oof. He said, you need to talk to the elder of the village. and get all the information you can from it. He said, but what I can tell you is it loves to attack from places that you wouldn't expect that it would attack from. Um, I know we were hitting it, we were shooting it, but it seemed like the bullets was bouncing off, or we just wasn't getting direct hits on it. I don't know. He said, but don't expect for everybody to make it out. This right here is some more stuff. And he told him, he said, look, it's not from Earth. This is something I do know. It's not from Earth. He said, okay. He laid back. He kind of passed out. He was, he didn't have much left. So Sarge told one of his men, he said, go get the village elder, Oof. So he went to go get the village elder and brought Oof back. And Oof could speak English. And he said, thank you for having me in your village. Boo, boo, boo. And so Oof told me, he said, look, no. We need for you and your men to destroy whatever this is. Said it's killing and destroying everybody. No, everyone's scared to go off into the jungle because you go out into the jungle, you don't come back. He said, but now we've been dealing with it. Your U.S. Army just now has become aware of this. He said, this is something my people have been dealing with for many, many years. So Sarge told me, he's like, no, hold on. We just tracked it. We just tracked it coming to our planet a couple of months ago. And Oof tells him, he said, yeah, y'all just tracked it. He said, but it's been coming here for a long time. So boom. So we go to talking about it. And so now Oof gave him some real pertinent information. He told him, he said, look, what I do know is that it needs to feed on a certain type liquid. It eats flesh. It eats humans. It eats animals. It eats all that. But it must sustain its life force with a certain type element, certain type liquid that is found. And he said, we've tracked it. Sometimes it destroyed our tracking team. Sometimes it didn't. But one thing we do know, that there's watering holes that it has out in the jungle, that long as it can get to one of these watering holes, it can always rejuvenate its strength and become stronger. So Sarge was taking this in like, huh? What? He said, yeah. He showed him a little vial, a plastic vial of some shimmery, bluish type stuff. He said, this is what it needs to survive. He said, if you can destroy all the different watering holes, then it will grow weaker. Because anytime human flesh or animal flesh or meat, it just can't sustain itself off that. It needs this stuff. And we've ran across the watering holes, and we've mapped them out, the ones we know about. The one he said, so how long you been doing? He said, we've been doing it for a while. He said, how many do you have? He said, we have 8 different watering spots that we know of. And so he told him that I'm pretty much sure that these are all the different watering spots that the beast goes to when it needs to replenish its strength. The longer it doesn't have these, the weaker it gets. And the weaker it gets, the more vulnerable it gets. So Sarge was okay. So he got the paper and he went back to his men, and they sit down and he talking, he's explaining to him. He say, look, I devised a plan on what we gonna do. And so I need to straighten that out, huh? I do. A little black part in the middle like that. But anyway, so he told his team, what we gonna do, we're going to destroy all of its watering holes. And then we'll wait till it starts weakening, and when it's weak enough, we'll track it and destroy it. So everybody was like, yeah. So they were like, well, he showed them the paper, and the watering spots were spread out over a 3-mile radius. He said, so they asked him, he like, well, Sarge, are those all of them? He said, it's all the ones that the village elder told me about. So as far as they know, these are all the ones. And they said that this thing has been coming here. So dude was like, man, this sound like something from what's that movie that be coming out at the movies, man, with the alien monster. So another dude, so Brickhouse, I mean not, but Airwave said, "Oh man, you talking about a Predator?" He said, "Yeah, man, is this a Predator type stuff?" So Sarge starts laughing. Huh? He said, "Well, it seemed like that, but this ain't Predator. This is real life. Predator was some made up stuff. What we dealing right now with is a real live entity that we have to destroy and stop before it decides that it want to make its way to the States." They was like, right on, let's do it. Let's get it. So they said, when we gonna move out? They said, we gonna move out in the morning. So that night they ate well, boom. And the other army dude, Stinson, that was hurt real bad, he died that night. They knew it was coming. So the next morning, they ate well again and they got ready to move out. And they had the map that the village elder Oof had made for them. And all the villagers was out there and they was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it was a heavy tracker. A heavy tracker is like a jeep slash troop transport with a heavy gun on top. This was delivered to the area way ahead of time. So when Boom Boom seen it, not Boom Boom, but when excuse me, when Heavy Metal seen it, he was like, yeah, we can drive this, we can ride this. So they all piled in. But now Sarge had already let them know there's only so far we can go in this. Most of this work is going to have to be done on foot, which it didn't make them no difference. They were in well shape. Excellent, top 10 shape. You know, running a marathon, running a 26-mile marathon was nothing to them. With full rucksack and gear on. They could do it. They were in that type of shape. They were elite. So anyway, they went as far as they could out into the jungle and they had to get out. And so that's when Heavy Metal told them, look, everybody out. We at the end of the line. From this point on, it'll be on foot. And they got out, they got all their stuff together and they went in. And they started checking. They wanted to find the first water hole. That ends it right there at part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. It ain't gonna play, man. It ain't gonna play. It's gonna go down pound for pound, round for round. So y'all stay tuned for part 2, man. It's me, your big partner, the village storyteller. What? I represent the gangsters, man. I'm out. Peace.